whatever milestones that Black people make against hate, it ends up benefiting all the other people of color. I can't see what his end game is. The Republican Party is the party of racism, is the party of white supremacy, is the party of hate. This is wrong, and it needs to stop.
Everybody wants to go back and drag that piece of history up, but they don't want to go back and deal with what their ancestors did to the indigenous people and to Black people in this country. You got to go. And you got billionaires talking about going to space and Jeff Bezos. Go! Never come back. I hope you get lost. This man has lost his mind.
Boom! Come on, girlfriend. Come on, girlfriend. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Also, I co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that collaboration last year, part of a team that reached out to over 100,000 fathers around dads and fathers around the world. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting live on December 10th, 2022. The year is coming to down. But while you're here, well, at least live and at least on the replay, you want to hear three of the smartest Black women I know anywhere, not just in America. And they will be on in just a moment, but I just wanted to do a little bit of stuff here. Want to make you aware, if you're not, that the Dr. Vibe Show has been nominated the best Black Canadian podcast category at this year's ByBlacks.com People's Choice Award. And all you need to do is go to ByBlacks.com/PCA/vote to vote. And you can vote every 24 hours until the end of 2022. Now, I did do a video for this, and I've had permission by the ladies in charge, to show it. So we're going to show a little video on how you can vote for Dr. Vibe for the ByBlacks Award. Here we go. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And I co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And through that collaboration last year, I was part of a team that reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. And I am excited about this video I'm making for you. It's a short video, and I have a big ask. The Dr. Vibe Show has been nominated in the Best Black Canadian Podcaster category for this year's ByBlacks.com People's Choice Awards. Now, ByBlacks.com is Black Canada's #1 online magazine, and I'm very humbled to be nominated in this category. Now, I have a big ask. I would like you to vote for me. I would like to win in this category. I'd like all of us to win. So, I'm just doing this short video to show you how you can vote. And do note, you can vote once every 24 hours from now till the end of day, December 31st, 2022. So what you're looking at right now is the website address that you go to first. And that website address is byblacks.com/PCA/vote. Let me repeat that website, byblacks.com/PCA/vote. When you get onto that page, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see Podcaster 2022. Podcaster 2022. You see at the time I'm recording this is 187 votes. I want us to put in 1,187 votes for Dr. Vibe. I liked 18,700 votes for Dr. Vibe. This can be done because you can vote once every 24 hours. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. We want this to be a big party so we can win it. Now, getting back to it, Podcaster 2022, you click on that. And now it's going to take you to another page. Podcaster 22 at the top, Best Black Canadian Podcaster for 2022. 188 votes, registered by 1 votes. Last vote 46 minutes ago. This is when I'm recording it. The poll votes are hidden from public viewing, and the poll votes will be closed 4 weeks from now. It's probably a little less than 4 weeks from now. There are the 3 nominees. Black people check in. On the Path with Shel Nebhard, and there is the Dr. Vibe show right here. This is where you got to be. This is where you got to go. Now, click on the Dr. Vibe show. There you go. Vote. So you got to click on the Dr. Vibe show, and right underneath this, you click on vote, and there you go. Done. That's all you need to do. Now, remember, you can vote every 24 hours from now till end of day, December 31st. I would really appreciate your support in this, and I would like to have a big online party when we claim victory on this. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, message me. Probably the best way to message me is one of 2 ways. Email address, dr.vibe at the.dr.vibe.com, or you can hit me via Instagram at the.dr.vibe.show, the Dr. Vibe Show. So as always, I like to say, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourself grace, and looking forward to celebrating with you. Remember, you can vote every 24 hours. Take care, be well, and keep the faith. All right. So thank you for taking the time to watch it. Thank you to Aisha, Jill, and Lala for allowing me to share that little video with everybody. So we are here. Let me get everyone situated correct. All right. We got everything going right. Okay. What's going on, ladies? What is up?
Great.
Hi.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. Oh my, oh my. Well, Lala's back, and everyone, Lala was not feeling well last week, and she still isn't 100. She's still not 100%. She's still not 100%.
I'm gonna be a good girl. I'm gonna be a good girl. But I missed you guys. I was like, I can't miss 2 weeks.
I know we missed you too.
Well,
it's about a 7-day run with this thing, right? 7 or 8.
I'm on 9. I'm day 9, believe it or not.
Wow. Wow. Well, you are a warrior queen. So thank you for doing it. How was everyone's week?
Good.
Quiet?
Quiet.
Oh, I don't think it was that quiet, because I was following all you on the digital path. So Lala, with all your things about real estate, and Jill and Aisha, were you giving it about a lot of things this week? So yes. So before we go any further, we've got to thank our sponsor. So we have our sponsor is Ebony Occasions. So what we got to do is say this episode of State of Things with Aisha, Lala, Jill, and Lala is sponsored by Ebony Occasions. Ebony Occasions, your number one choice for Afrocentric greeting cards. Why not add that special touch to the holidays this season by giving a culturally relevant card? Their pack of 20 Christmas cards is on special for $39.99 Canadian and $29.99 US. That's only $2 Canadian or $1.50 per card. Take advantage of the savings for this limited time only. And their motto is, whatever the ebony occasion, we have you covered.
Ooh.
So you like that? You like that line? Okay. You like that? Oof. I heard that. Oof. So you like that line. All right. If you want to find out more about Ebony Occasions, website, ebonyoccasions.com, Instagram at Ebony Occasions. And we'll get to the stories, folks. We'll get to the stories. Got to make the sponsor happy.
Yes, we do.
Got to make. So last week we had the box.
I got a thing to ask anybody who's going to be watching. What would be the best color for my wall behind me? Because this green is washing me out. So okay. I will be any submissions, and I will weigh it and look at that, because I'm a little tired of it. Because with certain light in the winter, it loses. It's not this like baby poop color in real life.
Okay.
It just looks like a diaper.
All right.
And so I'm tired of it. So sorry about that. I just am like, any
No problem.
suggestions, any colors, because my skin tone, we get all washed out.
No problem. Well, last week we showed the box, right? We showed the box last week.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're opening up the cards. So we're doing the cards. Doing it really quick. So different cards. I'll only show one or two. I won't show all of them. There's a Merry Christmas card. Let's see if the light.
And I frame my cards if they're really pretty when I get them.
Oh, I didn't
so
know
I
that.
do. I put pictures in a frame and I'll put them in like, different parts of rooms. I change them out every year, but I think they're nice. Really lovely cards.
I'm a card person. I love cards. And I will stay for hours and read them. Oh, I love that.
Wise men.
Yeah.
Still
so
shall seek him.
It's quite nice.
We got that. And I'll show one more and then we'll get to the conversation. So I wanted to do our advertiser full justice. Oh, season's greetings.
Oh, that one's great.
That
is so nice. I love that one. That's for your like sassy girlfriends. And I have quite a few that, that would be,
yes.
That's really great. How soon can you get those, like in mailing right now?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Share is online. So definitely Share, have those questions. So how soon, if someone puts an order in and they're in the US, how quickly can you get them?
When's the cutoff day before?
When's the cutoff date? Okay.
Because we have to mail out.
Yes. So I think the sooner the better. So definitely we'll follow up and hope. I'm pretty sure she'll be watching.
I mean, there's other occasion cards too that she has. So
yeah.
Yes.
I went and saw like birthdays, and if you need Kwanzaa cards, I would say do it now.
Absolutely. So before we get started, roll call. Let's see. Jen's in the house. And then Jen's saying, voting for you every day, Dr. Vibe. Much thanks.
I got to vote for you. I forgot. Damn.
That's all right. That's why I did the video. So Leslie McEwen, wonderful lady.
I've been voting for you.
Thank you. Based in Ottawa, Ontario. She has been a Black psychotherapist for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And she does appear periodically on my morning vibe show once a month that I do 9 a.m. on Monday and Friday mornings. Wonderful lady and great resource. Thank you, Leslie. Black Beauty saying,
hey, nice picture. Hey,
Dr.
Wow,
there we go.
We got a really pretty picture.
Yes. Divine Right from the DMV says hello.
Nice.
Saying, sending love from the DMV.
The actual says, DMV?
Yes. No. Well, yeah. Yeah. Virginia, Maryland. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
DC, Maryland, Virginia. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's been a long time supporter, and she is actually a champion of an ovarian cancer advocate, and she also has Lyme disease.
Oh wow.
So if people want to go on the YouTube channel, I've done a number of conversations with Divine Right about Lyme disease and ovarian cancer. Actually, her mother passed away from ovarian cancer, so she became a champion from ovarian cancer. Jen says, beautiful cards.
They are.
Black Beauty says, I say split tone contact paper. That way you can always change them, such as purple, gold, burgundy, cream, white, BLK, teal, green. All right. So getting suggestions. Here's Regina saying, Jill, try a pink light bulb and see how that works.
Oh, okay. I will.
All right.
I'll make a note of that.
And then Black Beauty says, thanks for the compliment on the pics, guys. You are very welcome. Wow. Like, wonderful families in full effect tonight. I love it. And one more other thing for everybody.
And everybody's in the winter time.
Yeah, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and like it on Facebook, but especially subscribe to it on YouTube. I'm 24 subscribers away from 1,000.
Okay, good.
So,
Very good.
and so if people have been around for a while, like the Black Beauties and Jens, have you ever had one of these conversations where there's so much time doing promo stuff before we get to the actual conversation?
I
Well,
know.
to me, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. That's a sign of positive growth.
Progress.
But progress, absolutely. So let's see. We got one
It's
more
like
comment.
old radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in the 1920s or 50s, you know, and
I
they're going,
love
this soap
this
product, have some suds. Suds, do your, you know,
You know,
do
it's
your
really
dishes, use suds.
funny. Wig Maniacs, sorry, had the flu last week. Hope you're feeling better. When I think of old time radio, one of the people I used to listen to was a gentleman named Paul Harvey.
Yeah, great voice.
I love Paul Harvey.
Didn't he do 10-10 wins?
I think so, but I used to
His
always.
voice.
My favorite is the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There, yes.
That's
yes. The rest of the story. And then yes, it is Dr. Vibe. Wonderful. All right. We do have to get to some stories. I don't know how many we're going to get to after the first conversation piece tonight. Well, let's get to it. WNBA star Brittany Griner back in the U.S. following high-profile Russian jailing prison swap. Who wanted to start? Because there's so many areas. Okay.
Well,
can we at least please acknowledge that she is also a gold medalist?
Yeah.
I mean,
Olympian
people are about that.
We also don't know what's real and what isn't real until she speaks with her press people about if these were trumped up charges and if she was forced to just concede and go, okay, I'm going to go along with this, keep my nose down and just get through it. So I see so many people knee-jerk react until we know the real scoop. I'm happy she's back, and that's that. You know, I think
the thing of it is, too, is that were they supposed to leave her? Were they supposed to leave her?
Right.
Putin said her or nobody.
Right.
Were they supposed to say, okay, nobody till we get Paul Whelan first?
Right.
Yeah.
Paul
Whelan's story is weird.
Disgusting how people's reactions were to this. Ultimately, put everything else aside, we have one of our own back. Can we just celebrate that is a win for our country? No matter how you feel, someone is safe and sound at home. And we don't know what all she went through over there, but we only can imagine the horrors that she did and may never talk about. So I was just appalled at how people are so nasty about how it happened. They have nothing to do with this. Why don't you just be happy that we have her back home on American soil? That's how I feel about it. And I could care less what somebody else thinks about it. I'm glad that she's home.
You know what's really wild, though, when we really think about it, is that, 20% of people are on Twitter, 20% of just the population just in America. And when you think about it, it's a very small group of people who are on Twitter. I have more friends than not who aren't on any of it. And yet and they're doing their TikToks and they're fun and there's life actually happening outside of this little bubble that the Politico world is in with the news. It's sort of like Twitter feeds our news cycle. And without it, I don't know what they would do with it. So when I look at it now, knowing that it's only 20%, I'm like, who are these losers? These are actual losers on the other side. Some of these people, the majority of that 20%, there's some real idiots in there. And so then you go, okay, well, then we take that section over there and push that aside. And then I don't feel so freaked out about all of this. And I've kind of hopped off of the train of, let me turn into TV to see on cable to see who's talking about it. Because the reality is it all is feeding the same chain. Mm-hmm. So they all get paid. That's it. Whether it's a podcast or this, and they just keep this verbal fucking vomit going all the time, because the reality is she needed to come home. Thank God she did. Give Joe Biden his props. Paul Whelan, it's a little sketchy because even if he is CIA, we don't usually know. We never used to know that part of it. But here's the reality. Trump could have got him out in 2018. And also, Trump is probably why he's in there, because Trump gave away all of our information with all of our agents, by the way. Let's not forget the many that got killed because of Donald Trump, that we don't even know their names. But he did that. So he and his family can go suck each other's dicks, because the reality is they're garbage and the followers are trash. That's all I have to say. Trash.
Well, you know, it's funny because
fucking inbred trash.
Look, all these fake Christians, these evangelicals spewing the most hateful stuff that is so unchristian. It's so unlike Jesus. They're so unlike anything in the Bible. And they're, like Joe said, they are trash. And it's like, on one hand, they want to be like, oh, let's follow the Bible. We should not talk about gay marriage. There shouldn't be gay marriage. On the other hand, oh, well, she shouldn't have been let go because this. And let's be clear. Let's be very clear. You're racist. You're misogynistic. You're homophobic. Period. That's your problem with it. And
they're not in the book of life. If they want to go by their Bibles, I can tell you right now, they're not in the book of life. Their names aren't there. So they can preach and talk and show and sell out clown Jesus all they want. They aren't it. They never were. They were destined to be these dregs that they are.
But you have white men on one hand talking about this as if, like Donald Trump Jr. saying, oh, he just did this for his DEI, diversity, ethnicity and inclusion population, which isn't true. I mean, but it's like white men are taking it to be a grievance, you know, about how they're not whatever anymore. White women are feeding into their thing. And then you have a group of Black men who it boggles the mind that they're taking this shot at her and spewing this hatred online just because of Black gay woman. Like there's a football player, a basketball player who said all this stuff, and then people had to literally drag him in to the point where he's like, oh, I didn't know. I talked to a friend and then I got a better perspective of it. Well, that right now, I told him, I don't believe you. I think you're just cleaning your image right now because your friend was there to talk to before you made that illiterate post. I mean, Google was right there where you could have checked in the TV, and you have TVs. So it just Makai something.
Well, even Whelan's family has come out and said, listen, y'all, we know what's going on. We applaud that the way that things happen, that we got her home. I mean, even his family is saying, y'all don't know, this is very complicated. And all of y'all all of a sudden saying, you know, Trump came out talking about, oh, I could have brought him home. He said, you're a liar. His brother actually just tweeted this today. You're a liar because you had the opportunity to bring him home and you didn't. So I'm telling you, you don't give a shit. You didn't give a shit about him then, and you don't give a shit about him now.
And Paul Whelan was MAGA. Paul Whelan was MAGA. He had tweeted at Donald Trump, please do it, send a tweet out, say something in 2018. And you have to also ask, how is it that Paul Whelan was able to make phone calls to news people?
He has 5 passports. He has 5 citizenship. He belongs to 5 countries. He's a spy, I think. And and he has no wife. He has no wife. He's 53 years old. When this happened, what was he, like 48 or something, 47? And his job is a little bit vague. I'm sorry. I just find it really odd. He was in the Army and was discharged not so great, so they say, but that could just be the profile that has been created for him. And, you know, and when they talk about releasing arms dealers, Trump released a Taliban. Trump released one of the Taliban arms dealers, like when he was in office. So, you know, everybody and was, you know, 5,000 and 5,000. So they need to these false equivalencies, because that's what it is. And they don't care about Paul Whelan. They're like, oh, was a spy, you know, and maybe he is a spy, but there's something off with his. The 5 passports is a little bit odd. That's just odd to me. He's got citizenship in many places, and his story is just not complete. Right. And the family members and all of that. It's just not a complete story.
In Germany? Does he have citizenship in Germany? Okay,
No, he
I was
doesn't have
wondering that
EU
because
citizenship, but
okay, I was
he's
wondering
got like
because
yeah,
Putin wants someone who's locked up in Germany for Paul
yeah,
Whelan, and it's like we can't do that.
yeah.
Right.
We don't have no control over Germany. I don't know
Yeah, and
what he
also
was
this
thinking.
is an exchange that has another particular bent to it that we're not going to know, and we
Yeah. No.
probably shouldn't really know. I mean,
Mhm.
it's we do have agents that go around in these places, and I'll be honest, it's so funny. There's a book that Ashley, there's a book that just came out about Hoover, and you should really read that, because Herbert Hoover, they were talking about, on one hand, Hoover was the most corrupt FBI guy we ever had, but then he was also the ones that took the KKK to task.
You
So
mean J. Edgar
we've always
Hoover?
yeah, we have who did I say?
You said Hoover.
Oh, okay.
Herbert.
Then we
She
have
said it was Herbert. J.
I said
Edgar
Herbert.
was the
Yeah,
FBI. Yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover. So we always had like a lot of ups and downs in our country at the moment. So whatever is going on with Paul Whelan is kind of akin to what happened with that kid who was in Korea, that young boy, or the kids that were hiking in Iran.
Uh-huh.
Come on. I mean, they recruit young people too.
Yeah.
Quickly for the who aren't necessarily young but look young, and that's their profile, their cover. So I don't know. I mean, I got to see what the Paul Whelan story is, and they want him out, and that would be great. But Trump could have gotten him out a long time ago.
Oh, he could have. And
And let's be clear. Remember, Trump invited the Taliban to Camp David on September 11th instead of anything about Paul Whelan. So let's not pretend that the right is completely innocent here.
That's right.
They've done nothing. They've done nothing. And like Jill said, it's probably Trump is probably the reason why he got caught in the first place. And didn't Trump say, "I don't like people who get captured"?
Yeah, he did. And remember that there was a time when he started releasing information, and they were worried that he was because he started slagging off CIA and intelligence community. And so a lot of people already thought like that then he was starting to put all of our agents at risk. So that's exactly why we were thinking that Paul Whelan kind of came on the heels of that. And that's that.
And, the sick thing about it is that when Trevor Noah was freed earlier this year, the right went after Biden, which you expected. Here, they're going after Biden, but they're going after her, which is totally different. And it's like, okay, well, they're like, well, she shouldn't have done this. Well, guess what? You all didn't have this kind of energy for Amanda Knox.
No, none. And don't even talk her up too much, because they still won't ever let her go the grip on that either. I mean, women in this country
Italy again.
Yeah, I mean, it's people. They want to QAnon us to death about how corrupt everything is, but can't
They're the ones that are corrupt.
But can't believe that Russia could be corrupt and framing people.
Well, remember, there's also
because remember they love Russia.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's also
they're all red. They're all commie bastards.
It's like, when did this party? Remember how Reagan was so anti-Russia? Where did this party decide to flip that?
When they saw Red Dawn, the movie, they decided they'd be the paratroopers who came down, as opposed to C.W. Howe or whatever his name was, or Patrick Swayze. They didn't want to,
I just think at this point they just want to be
Red Dawn really messed up a lot of people in this country.
Now Aisha just hit it right on the head.
They just want to be opposite of whatever Democrats are for. That's it.
It's true.
Just I don't care if you say
we can sit here. Every Democrat could hold the American flag and be like, sing "God Bless America" all day long, and they'd still be like, "Oh, we hate America."
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's the truth.
They're very contrary.
So Black Beauty has some comments, and I'm gonna ask you for some of the stuff I read this week and ask all of yours response. So Black Beauty says, to add what the ladies have just said, there's just a real spirit of evil in this world that takes time to devalue. BG, my God, she's an American citizen.
I know.
Brittany Griner. And then we also have, let's not forget, 45, certainly not the example of a fine American. Why can't they swap 45 for Waylon?
Right.
So Black Beauty, and I think
maybe
Jill sort of have the same sort of mindset. All right. She also says, yeah, or how about they swap 45 McCarthy, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and others out for Waylon. Send them all to Russia. How about that?
I wish we
That
could.
would be a good day.
Yeah, but the other thing about it is that they're like, well, we shouldn't bring her back because she hates America. I'm sorry. It is not illegal to not stand for the national anthem. It is not illegal to protest. As a matter of fact, you people that talk all this bull about the First Amendment, that is in the First Amendment. That part, the right to free speech and the right to protest.
Yes.
Do you know how long they've been doing that whole stunt about the desecration of the flag and desecration of, what they're doing as patriots since like the 80s strong? It started there. And then in the 90s, it really started percolating. But there was no real, and book burning. They were trying to do that then. So this agenda didn't change. They've continued to just rinse, repeat until so now it's on our, but it's what people associate them with, but it doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's real, because they have no problem wearing those shitty clothes that they were wearing with flags all over them, flags on their vajayjays, flags, talk about desecration.
But they'll still carry the Confederate flag. That's what's so bonkers.
And the Confederate flag.
It's like you're only allowed to pledge allegiance to one flag in this country.
What it is
that carrying the Confederate flag, talking about, we're patriots.
I mean, we as Democrats might be smug and a little bit arrogant. Fine, we have been. We're super. That's just who the party is. A little bit smug and a little arrogant. Like, well, we want to be very intellectual and educated, and we believe in those principles. And then you have the other ones who are just like, I grew up eating dirt. I'm gonna stay eating dirt. That's it.
Well, we like to read, so I guess that's also the part that goes back to last week's conversation about literacy.
Oh
yes.
Oh my goodness! All right,
Mr. Wafflehead himself, Herschel Walker.
Good God. We're gonna get to that in a few moments. By the way, Jill, Cher has an answer for you. Good evening, all. My apologies. I was trying to listen while I was on my way home from work and couldn't respond. The cards take about 1 week to get to the U.S. It's through UPS, through Canada Post. So if you want to order the cards
for Christmas
ASAP, is because I know a lot of our family, probably the majority of our family, is in the United States. So order now. Order now. I will put up the link again on the screen real quick. Go to the website.
Nice to order your box of cards at the beginning of the year for the entire year of events that you have coming up.
Right. So you can go to the website. There's cards not just for holiday season, but different occasions throughout the year. And if you have any suggestions, get in contact with Cher via the website, and she'll take your look at your suggestions and maybe put them into place. All right. Let's get back to the conversation. So I have a question. Mm-hmm. With all this going on, I think I talked about it last week. If any of you were put in BG situation in Russia, do you think your president would do that for you?
You can do new water.
No, and it's great. It's a good thing that she had the celebrity status, because her celebrity status actually elevated the Paul Whelan situation, because that wasn't on anybody's radar until she got arrested. And let's be very clear, she was arrested right before Putin did that coup. So she wasn't arrested as much as she was a hostage.
Yes.
That there. And then when they talk about the arms dealers, let's be honest, that's what everybody deals.
Now that guy's a bad man, a real bad man. Because
he's the one we know about.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
The thing is, but
there are tons that we don't know about.
He sold arms to Africans to kill other Africans.
Right. Of course, because that's, You know,
Well,
it
we've
wasn't
got
enough that
Americans selling
Morocco had
arms
to
to other
kick
Americans
Portugal's
to kill
ass
other
today,
Americans. They don't have a problem with it. Every day
which
there's
is the
mass shooting.
colonist thing.
I just think that, you know what? I just make me think that not all Black lives matter, and I think we've always known that. But this is a perfect example because
It is.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
if any of you all were in Russia in the jail, Biden ain't coming to help you.
No.
No.
No,
No.
he won't. And you want to know something interesting? We used to have drive-bys at the turn of the century on horseback, by the way, in
Yeah.
America. Guns have been a way of life here, living and dying, and the betrayal of one's community, it's disgusting. But now, you know, I often say there's always some good in some side of everything. Even, you know, we try to evolve and get better and have a conscience about things. I've known people who were rich Africans who, you know, don't necessarily care about the poor Africans. And it's not always just by color. It's like they don't care about animal rights. They don't care about wearing fur. All these people, it's like it's not just to be
One
so
size fits
righteous.
all,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So it's like it's so weird what we're going through.
But you know, they
So-
didn't care about Victor about selling arms until this happened. Here's the
Mhm.
thing. Victor sells on other countries. We have people right here today, arms in
Of
the
course.
country, murdering little kids, mass shootings,
Yeah.
all of that. They don't want to complain about those people because their whole thing is then, oh, Second Amendment, I have a right
Right.
to bear arms.
In
You
Jacksonville,
all
Mississippi,
are
there was
the
somebody just
biggest
shot at a
killers
soccer
in this
team.
country. You're
Oh.
more dangerous to us than anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, come on.
I don't know. I
think
think in America, there's definitely different life if you're a celebrity, especially in Black America. There's a different life if
yeah.
you're a celebrity. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, I think another commentary that I heard is, well, if Biden went to this extreme to get BG out of Russia, there's a number of Black Americans that have the same charge in America.
Yeah.
Why don't he sign an executive order and release
Because
them?
I think there were some seriously very powerful Black Americans behind this initiative.
Mhm.
I don't think they're talking about it. I really believe like a
Oh,
Jay-Z
I'm
or
sure.
put some
And I'm
pressure on
sure.
this.
And I'm sure about
Yeah.
that. And so if that point is true, Jill, then that's another reason that we should not pay attention to celebrities, because if the celebrities can get behind BG, why can't they get behind the less fortunate Black Americans who are on charges of this and less in their own country and push their president to get
Well,
them?
you guys, everybody had Van Jones who said he was going to monopolize that tap dance on that platform,
I don't even
but
go
he
there with
flip
Van
flopped
Jones.
over. No, because he was bought off.
Yeah.
And he started out with an initiative to do something,
Agreed.
and then they handed him a ton of, I don't know, $100 million, and dude shut the fuck up and just started chillaxing. He went, what?
Yeah,
Who?
tap
What?
dance for anybody now.
Right.
Yabba dabba do. You know? Come on.
Yeah. You don't, and
All right.
you know, he came out with something this week, and everybody was like, "Who are you?"
They're done with
You're
him.
not taught where, you know,
He's
you're not
done.
taught our whole community.
He's done.
He's
You
done.
better
He's done.
go just enjoy his
But
He
money.
cozied up to Eric Trump. He was done.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
he
Black-
cozied
Trump
so
is
much
desperate.
that he got $100 million from Jeff Bezos, which makes him even more of a like, what? What are you
Yeah.
doing, baby?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing with these people?
Yeah,
Kim
so-
Kardashian, all of them. There's your little cabal
Yeah.
right there. If you want to talk about elites and a cabal, that's it. It's there.
Right.
Because Van Jones helped give everybody access to other people.
Yes.
And I'm I actually, to be honest,
Yeah.
I'm not
He
ever,
helped get
don't
Kim
ever want to.
Kardashian into law school.
Thank you. He knows how to break the rules, and he's too steeped into politics. You know, he was married to Jimmy Carter's daughter. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even feel right about us talking about him, to be perfectly honest with y'all, because I just don't. So let's end that.
Okay. All right. So Black Beauty says LMBO Jill, and he's laughing away, and it says Jill's right. The older I get, the more I see a return of racism on steroids now.
Yeah.
And then just back to Ebony Occasions says to us, yes, I keep saying the all occasions box takes care of you for the year. And she says, thank you. So if you get the all occasions box, that'll take care of you for the whole year. So what's going to happen with Paul?
To Black Beauty's point, you know why we see a return of racism on steroids the way she said? Because of social media, because people have access to forums and things to talk about it all the time and get radicalized. Before, they would have to go to a meeting. It would be more local, centralized. Now it's just taken over everything.
But here's the thing. I think when they let Paul Whelan out, they're going to let out that other dude who has the ball in his head, mouth and everything from Batman and the Joker and the Riddler and all of them. That is what's happening. And who else? What other Batman villains can we think of that Putin and them are asking for?
Penguin. Mr. Freeze.
Yes, Mr. Freeze is coming out.
The question mark guy?
Yeah.
The Riddler.
The Riddler.
So
the Riddler.
That's why the Biden administration is like, damn, because this is what's happening in Gotham. So yeah, that's what Putin was drunk off his ass the other night, guys. Drunk off his ass on TV talking about it. And I do believe I did catch he wanted the Riddler. He wanted the Joker. And who's the one with the ball in his mouth?
He's drinking too much of that Russian vodka.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was it.
So Jill, you know what you're making me do now? I'm gonna see if I can go online and watch old episodes of Batman to get all the villains.
The one who Tom Hardy played, that was like that dude. That one was a little bit.
There was
Bane. They're asking for Bane to be let out.
No, I'm talking about the original series in the 60s. And Paul Lynde played a villain too. And
I would prefer if the villains were like Paul Lynde. That's oh my goodness. It would be a very different world if the villains were like Paul Lynde.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, Harvey.
Wasn't there one with like half the face?
Half his face. Yeah, remember? But anyway, that's who Russia wants, and they're going through their comic books right now to determine which ones they want.
You gotta be.
They probably want to do Disney villains too.
Yeah, they're like going. Should we get Ursula too? You think?
Yeah. Yep. Let's get these Disney villains too.
Oh my goodness. This is just, oh my goodness. That Paul Lynde. Why would you think Paul Lynde came up in this conversation, folks? Probably a lot of you don't remember who he is.
Don't even know who he is, but
yeah.
Oh my God, I loved him on Bewitched.
Yes.
But yes, Eartha Kitt could be a villain. I have to see, but none of the Catwomen were Will.
The original Catwoman. The original Catwoman, Eartha Kitt, I believe. I think she was the original. Yep. Wow.
And Julie Newmar was somebody. Was she?
Yeah, she was Catwoman. She was Catwoman after Eartha Kitt.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's going to happen to Mr. Paul? Paul Whelan. What's going to happen with him?
When they find the right
it and hope they can make a deal. And, they're not going to, here's the thing. They're not going to make a deal that's going to put this country in danger.
No.
But don't you think giving up this arms guy puts the U.S., some people say this deal makes the U.S. look vulnerable. A basketball star for an arms dealer.
But here's the thing.
Oh, I know that bitch who said that. Her husband is an NFL player. It's like, girl, just go shopping.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. That was in our country. We weren't safe with him being.
It's so weird that these wives get followers and think they actually are valuable at anything. Just Sports wives are maybe the worst, maybe worse
Look.
than rock star girlfriends and wives.
But look, we couldn't even keep El Chapo in our prisons.
Right.
So we were safe with Victor Bout here in one of our prisons?
Right. And first of all, why was he in? Couldn't they have thrown him in one of our regular prisons and not a federal one?
I mean, couldn't they have sent him to Guantanamo?
I mean, there's a joke going around that Mexican cartel guy is asking people are saying, what are we going to let him out?
El Chapo dug a hole and crawled in a hole all the way to Mexico, okay?
Right.
So before we go on
but
to
if that's what this is going to be, then rich people better watch out, because all that means is they better hire security people. If that's what the world now looks like, something can be bartered and leveraged. I mean, to be honest, with all these guns and stuff, America is becoming a lot like South Africa, which is, kind of trash, and Brazil. Trash, you don't stop at red lights at night. You just keep driving and try to do your damn best to get home. And you need to have armed bodyguards, because it's like the 70s. We're in a cycle that's like when the 70s was really crazy, and then they cut off that boy's ear and that shit. We're hitting that element right now. We are hitting that moment again because of the way the cycles
we're not safe from other Americans. We can't go grocery shopping, school, to college.
Yeah, but rich people need to really. It's sad, because.
Okay, so we got Jen Myers says Eartha Kitt was the best Catwoman, so we're keeping on with my Batman theme. I can't even do it. She was so good at the purr. She was so good at the purr. She was so good. So 2 last points. Is this exchange going to be fire for the Republicans for the presidential campaign?
No, they're going to try to. No, Dr. Vibe. 20% of people care. 20% of people care.
What, 3rd? Come January 3rd.
Ain't nobody going to be talking about that.
Look, this is the hot topic for the week. Just like anything else. Next week, we're going to have another story to be outraged about.
And by that time, we'll be talking about Brittany Griner's new hairstyle and what she decided to do with it. I mean, it'll be done. It won't be a topic. I'm telling you.
And the week after that, come January 6th, these Republicans aren't going to be talking about that. They're going to be talking about Hunter Biden's dick pic.
And she will be, they're lining her up to do interviews, is probably whatever the there are some interesting things that she may not, if she doesn't come out and start talking or when she does come out, it's very prepared and very curated. That means they're still really trying to work on Whelan to come out. And they don't want to rock the boat. So let's see.
Debriefing her, it's gonna take months to debrief her.
Let's see how soon she's on TV. Because the window is still open for him to come in. Yeah, she probably won't.
No, and I don't think they would allow her to. I mean, there's just
right now, no. I know.
So who's gonna get the first interview of her? Any bets?
Who's black that they're gonna get?
Probably Oprah. No, probably
that's why. No.
I don't think it'll be Oprah.
It'll either be Oprah or Gail.
Maybe Gail.
And remember, if Gail does it, Gail will do it in partnership with Oprah. She'll do a special on Oprah's network.
Okay, I'm kind of tired of both of them. So
I wish it was Ari Melber, because I think Ari Melber is really.
I think Joy would do good.
Joy who? Reed?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think she stirs the pot a little and doesn't listen. That's all.
Yeah,
I
love her. Her interview with Sherelle was really good.
Who?
Her interview with Brittany's wife was really good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Jamel Hill did a good interview with Brittany's wife too.
Okay. I don't know. I like that girl from CNN named Abby.
Abby.
Yeah, but they don't.
I like that. I like that. I kind of don't. I don't. Yeah, I know, but I like that. I don't. That her personality never overshadows who or
Abby
what
Phillip.
she's talking about.
I think her name is it Abby Phillip?
But I could be wrong. She may not be up to the job.
But I think Jamel Hill might actually be the first, because Jamel Hill covered the WNBA for a long time, and she's known her for a long time. I think there might be a comfort level there.
So Black Beauty says, guys, we should go to the Capitol peacefully, demand the USA make Russia exchange 45 and meeting McCartney,
and Marjorie
Mitch
Taylor.
Coulter, Cinnamon, and others, and on top of it, Russia paid $5 million a head exchange for a whale.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We should, right? If only.
Right.
Okay. Gladys
Tamron
says,
Hall.
well, first time, Gladys. I've never seen you. Thanks for
She
coming.
would be
First time.
great. Actually,
Tamron
she
Hall?
probably would be great. You don't think so?
No, I gotta say no, because Tamron Hall did that interview with what is that gospel singer's name? And she just called her on it because it was a really good interview. I gotta find it. I'll let you guys know who.
She hasn't proved it to me yet.
Kim
but,
Burrell. When she interviewed Kim Burrell about that, yeah, Tamron did
She
that.
stepped to the moment, and she does not let people off the hook. She really does.
I missed that one. I'm gonna have to go back.
Yes, because everybody knows that Kim, what's her face, is a real sack of shit.
Yolanda
She's
Adams,
so
and Kim was
awful.
like, I'm not
I don't
having
care
that.
if she sang like the fucking angels. I can't stand her. She was really rude and just like awful. Like she's definitely, this is a career choice. She's not a Christian either.
Mm-hmm.
Not behaving as such. That was horrible. Talking down to the people at the church. It was awful.
Because Tamron was like, what you're not going to do on my show,
right,
is misrepresent my friend Yolanda Adams.
I love that.
Okay. As I said, family, this was going to take a little time. We still got other things to chat about. So let's talk about another big story in America. Mr. Warnock successfully reelected. Victory in Georgia.
3 points. Oh my God.
Wow.
First of all, this should have never happened in the first place.
Right.
73% white women voted for
that close
Walker.
at the second either.
73% of white women in Georgia clearly want to sleep with big old Mandingo Walker. You know, that's what that's about.
But let me say something.
We know they ain't pleased at home. We know they are happy.
When
they were not happy wives.
And he actually gave his concession speech.
If
he would have talked that way during the whole time, he would have won.
Yes.
But
I have to say, classy.
They let him do all of that, and they didn't have no problem with him doing the Mr. Bojangles dance. But if that man would have came out and spoke the way that he did when he conceded, we would have been in trouble.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So
I have to say,
thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Donald.
Yeah, but for him, he's got a big old notebook, called "Women for That Big Old Buck."
Yep.
And that's what they looked at him like.
Well, his son shared the text message from his father's camp telling him, "Oh, you've got to tell your father to stay on script, do this and do this." He's like, "I got to do what?"
I can't believe they were still talking to his son. His son like totally threw him way under the bus. Like I never really, his son has a lot of trauma from his father, and I don't particularly care for, some of the stuff his son has, his politics. However, he definitely was traumatized, and the way they depicted that poor kid, which was your mother messed you up in the divorce, and that's
he's
not
learning
wrong.
a lesson now, though, because the Republicans are coming after him.
They totally did,
Republicans are
and
coming
it's
after
really
him.
messed up.
Yeah, pretty soon you will see him. You will see him flip flop.
Actually, to be honest,
he's doing this shuck and jive.
He's kind of like
he's doing this shuck and jive because it's
once
popular.
These young Republicans, if they could get rid of the old ones, people like a Christian Walker would be the face of the new Republican Party because Christian is the son. Because these kids are in a really weird. They're in a different category of how they see the world, and quote unquote, this is a democracy. They're entitled to that. Right. He sees it. They see it the way they do. They're gay. They believe in the Republican Party. They're African American or whatever. There is a new element kind of coming up, but the only way for it to take hold and to maybe, would be to get rid of all they got to kick the old ones to the curb. They got to get rid of
the crazies.
Yeah,
they do.
Well, Lala,
because they do have some good points. Some points you're like, well, yeah, maybe, because their allegiances are different.
Yeah, Lala, I've got to agree with you. I thought Herschel Walker's speech was class. His it was like I thought that was really cool, and I agree with you. If he would have conducted himself in the campaign like that throughout, it would have been a much. He may have won.
But
And
that's
he
how they
was
think
not-
of
was
us as
not
Black
short of
people.
conceding, but he
Yeah,
gave.
well, there you go.
But he gave a speech.
But what an insult that they pandered, and it's like, wow, this is what you think of our
Because
people.
that's how they see us.
Mhm.
They loved every
And he
bit
played
of it.
into it.
I mean, that's just like a marionette. What you do? You get up there and they're pulling the strings. That's all they're doing. The only thing, and then if they could have got away with it, they would have put blackface on his blackface because that's what they think about us.
Yep.
And you know what they did? Don't you find it odd that Kanye West is always rising up right around every election time in Georgia?
Every time.
Kanye West is always rising up all around any little election time in any of these.
They
little
pay
red
him.
states.
He gets
He
paid, I
He
believe.
shows up to Florida. He shows up to Georgia. He shows up to Arizona.
And then he
shows
you know,
up to
he
Nevada.
Actually they call him Yadoff now. Sorry.
Well, you know,
His name is
That's
Yadoff.
right on point.
I mean, he walked into that.
He did walk into that.
And
Oh,
Yadoff.
my-
There's pictures of him too. Yadoff.
Oh my gosh, Yadoff.
yeah. I mean, he walked into that. He deserves it. He said, I like Hitler. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're not preserving your legacy, Kanye.
Oh hell no.
At this point, there's no legacy to preserve. If you would have stopped maybe about 15 years ago and just stop the antics, you'd be good.
Yeah, that was
Aisha,
pretty bad.
Something tragic is going to happen to him. We all know it. And then everybody at that time is going to say, how come he couldn't get the help that he needed? No, because y'all
Let's get off of Ye. Let's get off of Ye because I think next week we're gonna. I heard he had a very interesting meeting with 45 recently that went off the rails. It went really off the rails. Yes.
Yeah.
But again, who
point,
cares?
45 was insulted.
Black Beauty says, Aisha, is it true Senator Warnock winning has won another seat? If so, will this additional seat help future elections in that district? Because
Well,
Aisha,
go
ahead.
Right. Well, no, what it was that Democrats actually technically have 49 seats. Angus King and Bernie Sanders caucus with the Dems. So that gave 50. And when Sinema was still a Democrat, that gave 50. The 51st seat, which means Harris have to do all the tie breaking. However, shapeshifter Kristen Sinema decided that she is going to now become an independent. This is after she called Bernie Sanders.
We're going to get to that. Don't go too deep. We're going to get to that story. We're going to get to that
with her, but she's also not going to caucus with the Dems. So this leaves her to being that in-between vote. So Kamala Harris may still have to break some ties. But the thing that we know is that Kristen Sinema has voted with Democrats 99% of the time. We're not guaranteed that she will do that again. So we're kind of back where we were.
He's going to show her
before
ass.
Warnock.
Watch. See if we don't see that flabby thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so we're pretty much back at 50 and one you can't count on.
Exactly.
All right.
Never could. Somebody actually tweeted, I saw in a comment that said, you never show up for anybody. You never do. And you never have. Right. And that's what growing up and having to live in a car does to you, because that's what her life was like.
So
she's a hoe for the dough.
We'll get to her. Hold off. Warnock's victory, a big thing?
It was until yesterday.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So let's move on. Let's move to the next thing. All right. So let's move to another one of these ladies' favorite ladies. Kristen Sinema says she will leave the Democratic Party.
I think we should be able to have that seat. I still think that that's wrong, and they should look for a law. They need to scrounge around for a law and hit those law books, because I don't think that it's fair that Democrats voted for her.
That's right.
And she flips on them. Yeah. She needs to be kicked to the curb.
She's the second Democrat to do this in this calendar year.
Exactly. So that means you've got to hold people to their word and their oath. She took an oath as a Democrat when she ran on. They gave her money. Fuck her, and she needs to be fucked all the way down and thrown out.
Special election.
I
Yeah,
agree.
special
You
election.
can't do that.
But they say that Biden and everybody is
if you're
being
gonna
all
change midway, and the people voted for you because of the party affiliation, then you should
Yes.
have to go through a special election to see if you can keep that seat in your
It's
new
so
damn
true.
party.
She's sitting
Yeah.
up there with music in the background making, I've always been an independent and I've always done things as an individual in my way. No, you didn't, cunty. Because
She belonged
basically
to
what
3
she did
parties,
was
okay?
she played everybody. And I think there's something wrong with it. And they need to find a law. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like, it's disingenuous.
But
see,
in
it's up there
2010,
as
she
well.
came out and fussed about somebody else who had done this.
Yes, she did. She fussed about it with I forgot who it was. I think it was Bernie. That
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh yeah, but if you're an independent, you're not a real person because you can't commit to anything." She can't commit to anything. She's in her third party now. She's in her third party. She was a Green Party, then she was a Democrat. Now she's an independent.
The Green Party
Can't make up
people,
her
I have
mind.
to say, is a joke. Anybody coming from the Green Party, it's disgusting. They're legitimate liars, like that other one who went and, slept with
Stein?
Putin too. Yeah, her too, just
Let's
to
not
save their
forget Jill
taxes.
Stein,
And
the reason why
her
Hillary
too.
Clinton
Dinner
lost
with
that
Putin.
percentage of votes.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
These people are not, I just feel like there's got to be a law. And in this day and age, if there isn't one, then they better pass one.
Yeah.
That if you
And-
run on a party line, you got to stay in it.
That's
Sorry.
right.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and let's
If you
say
don't have
this
the balls to vote against your party, then you don't need to be in office at all.
and let's say this part, she didn't switch
Trying to
parties
clown
because
everybody.
of any beliefs or anything.
No.
She did it as a power move because
Yeah.
Sure did.
with Warnock getting that 51st seat, she was ineffective and rendered
Yeah.
powerless by the fact
Right.
that we wouldn't, if she didn't vote for something, we had that
Right.
extra vote, right?
Right.
Plus Kamala Harris, if her and Manchin, it neutralized that power that she and Manchin had over the Senate Democrats. And so with that, what did she do? Well, I'm going to try and reclaim some power here. So I'm going to be the one that they have to work for my vote. Guess what? No, they don't, because Warnock will stay in line. They will,
And like
try to
Regina
ignore
made a
Manchin
point
as
here.
much as possible.
Regina, Dr.
And
Vibe, read
Kamala
what
Harris will be
Regina
like,
said.
I break the tie.
Regina made a hell of a point.
I agree.
Regina says she flipped parties like pancakes, but she loved your line for dough. I won't say the first part
Yeah,
of for
she should.
dough. Right? Oh, but
You could do
Regina's
a hoe.
she has a question.
She has something like $6 million. She should return it.
She shouldn't be able to use our $6 million as a Dem. I'm sorry. And I think that we should go and be completely off the chain about that. It's
I
like,
agree.
Bitch, better have our money. Give it back. You want to leave? You want to leave?
If she
no,
is,
we ain't.
doing this for money tells you something. She's going to be independent because she's going to take some dirty red money. She's going to take dirty Republican money.
Exactly.
In her next game.
She's on the auction block. Whoever gives you the most.
A hoe for dough.
Like them old-fashioned auction blocks. Highest bidder.
So
American.
Can you do that again, Lala? Can you do that again, please? As we say down where I come from, rewind.
That's how it goes.
She is every day.
Yep.
Every day.
Every day.
Because remember, she's got all those corporate interests, and she's been taking dirty money for a while. Her and Joe Manchin, especially on this climate deal.
But they need to stiff her with this money. She can't take our money because many people vote down a party line just because and don't even care. I don't sometimes know everybody on it. I'll go dem. So the reality is you shouldn't be able to walk with our money. End of story. End of story, bitch. Bye. Because if you want to go, take your little raggedy shit that you came in here with and go. But we will talk about what you're going to get later. But no, because she's got her agenda and she's a real piece of work.
But
See,
I'm really
Regina's making a
interested
good
to see
point
how
here,
this
though,
is going to
Dr.
pan
Vibe.
out the next election with her, because
She's not going to run in the next election. I don't believe. I think
she'll
she's
find
done.
somewhere to get some money.
Well, Gallegos is he's polling like 74% to her 12%.
Well,
So
whoever she's having an affair with and who's giving her advice and whatever is really going on here. And when she came out here to LA in Silicon or our vineyards and spent a whole fucking year learning how to process wine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's her. She needs to go by hook or crook.
Mm.
Regina said that in this comment, she said that Arizona is mostly independent now. But here's the problem. Democrats won all the state offices in Arizona.
right.
So they're not really independent. They're Democrat.
Exactly.
Arizona has gone blue. It's
Yeah.
it's probably a deep shade of purple because in some of the lower races, but it's blue at the state level.
That's right. Little snake.
Mhm. That's what you should call it from now, little snake.
I know.
Snake.
Wow.
She's
If we
not
ever-
a
if we ever need-
trustworthy human being.
Man, the last few moments would make great promo material. I can't
But
even-
no, she wants to play like a.
Lala was too classic. I still can't get through that.
She's playing some big games, and unfortunately, she's going to cross the wrong person one day. It's just inevitable that she's going to cross the wrong person.
Black Beauty is asking Aisha, why hasn't President Biden permitted to sway cinema from going independent?
Well, here's
what
the thing.
If Manchin follows suit?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, it would be unethical for him to do so. Because of the freedoms that we have.
Ethical in politics? Ethics in politics? What an oxymoron. Go on.
Well, yeah, but however, we have no constitutional law that do that. Two, remember, all elections are have state laws behind them. Even though if you're running for a federal office, your state also controls all the elections that come from the state, even the general ones. So whatever their constitution says, so Biden can't tell Arizona, you have to do this and this and this, because our election system doesn't work that way. That's why you have all these states that are able to gerrymander districts and stuff.
Okay.
And we ain't seen the end of that. That's going to constantly be happening. They're already jockeying for the next time around.
And Chair says so many politicians sell their souls. It's so sad. They have no shame.
Remember, we got.
Yeah. Oops.
So Aisha's frozen at the moment. No problem. We will.
The ones that do, and that do the work.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I frozen still?
Okay. Now you are sort of back. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. The politicians that do have shame, they aren't on TV every night. They're doing the work.
Regina just looked this up. I just looked it up. Cinema has almost $8 million left from her campaign.
It's not hers, then give it back.
Right.
It's not yours. You flipped. Bitch. Give it back.
Right. And there's got to be something that they can do about that. Really, if there isn't a law, they better find something that's relative. They got all these lawyers from these Ivy League schools that can't figure out how to make this work, because that's when I get a little bit annoyed. Harvard, Penn, all you brain trusts out there can't figure this out. Go fuck yourselves if you can't, because the reality is that a lawyer can make a case about anything. They can make a case about a banana being wrong, the wrong color. So please, you better get that money back.
Well, the problem would be that I think the problem is that we have to do new campaign finance laws, because we couldn't get enough Republicans to vote for campaign finance laws, because they do the same thing too and keep the money from people. That's why you have Donald Trump with $600 million from his supporters that he hasn't spent on an election yet. Okay, so
he ain't gonna.
Right. And so the campaign finance laws should say we should have a campaign finance law that says, look, if you raised your money this way from this party, from these supporters, you have to give it back. But again, there's that whole thing with Americans and the First Amendment. It's like, well,
What's the
we
First
have
Amendment got to do with lying?
because we have
to
the
get
freedom
some
to
money?
support we have the freedom to support whoever we want across other parties. So if you're a Democrat and you want to give to a Republican, you can give to a Republican. The challenge here becomes when we have people like Kristen Sinema raising money fraudulently. Because the thing is that I guess maybe when you sign up to run and you run, you should have to say, look, I pledge that I'm going to stay in this party for this long, for the term that I'm running for. She's doing what Joe Lieberman did because she knows she can't run in 2024 as a Democrat and win. This is for her to try and run as an independent.
She should have been saving her money like the rest of us in America.
Yeah. But remember when Lieberman lost his primary against Chris Murphy? So then he ran as an independent and he got slaughtered anyway.
Yeah.
So guess what? She's going to get slaughtered anyway. She's going to end up splitting the vote with the Republicans.
She's going to take a lot of that money and buy her a vineyard.
Exactly.
She ain't running, you guys. She's not going to run again. She's taking this money and going to just sit pretty. That's it. Yeah. And maybe pick up a few coins and have everybody pay for her votes. Or
get a corporate job like everybody else that leaves.
Yeah. She'll do that too. But let me tell you something. She's probably already got her eyes on some land somewhere.
Already. It's probably already bought, honey. It's just a matter of when she can give them the money. That's all.
Yeah. She's going to be a Paul Ryan. Remember Paul Ryan left and got a job that made 10
on a board
times the salary. Yep.
Doing nothing. Here's the interesting thing. Young people like that are relatively young. When you don't have work to do, there's something that happens up here, and they can sit around and not earn anything, and then they just what does it say? An idle mind is the devil's workshop, and that's what's wrong with a lot of these people. They're crazy.
She's
as
one
hell.
of the least working, hardworking
Black Beauty
members.
Yeah.
So Black Beauty says, awesome point, Jill. The legislative party needs to be creating new laws.
And what Aisha just said, that we need to be, what did you say? The donor,
take a pledge.
Yeah, all of that needs to be rearranged.
That ain't going to happen soon. The Republicans aren't going to allow that.
There's term limits aren't going to happen either.
Yep.
Put this way.
Hey guys, how about all of us just run? Do y'all want to run? We run for something and abscond with the money. You probably could.
No, actually, Ted Cruz is from Canada. You can run for anything except for president.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, Ted Cruz's
daughter
tried to kill herself this week, right, guys?
Look, and in some states, you don't have to you don't have to reside there. In some states, until like Georgia, that's why Walker was able to run, because you don't need to reside there unless you win.
That's right. That's right.
And Ted Cruz has problems.
Black Beauty says, well, guys, seems like if she gets to keep almost $8 million, that's stealing.
It should be a federal offense. It's federal money.
But you know where that money came from.
State, it should be time to take your ass to Leavenworth.
But you know where that money came from. That money came from all these people that paid her to block legislation.
Yep. What's new?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all I can say is, if you're working underneath the moniker
they walk around like those race car drivers, they have everything plastered on their cars and on their little things. We see it. I mean, it should be required to go ahead and have your tattoo done of whoever's paying you. Let us see.
And it's like you can't sit out there and be fronting like you're one thing and you're not.
Nope.
And she wasn't. And if it's for campaign finance laws, then they need to dig in and find out where her money came from. Yeah. They need to have an investigation when people leave. If anything, that might deter. We want to know, why are they leaving? So let's just see. Even Liz Cheney didn't pull some crazy shit like that.
Right.
So Sinema can kiss my ass with her ugly self. She's such an unattractive pig.
Chill easy now.
You know, I meant to say this before, but when you said that she's disgusting big, and you brought up Liz Cheney. By the way, Adam Kinzinger just took several L's on his Brittany Griner posts the other day from Democrat, because he did the same thing that all the other Republicans did, and everybody
because that's
reminded
in
him.
them. It's in them to be like that, you know, and that's why I don't think very much of them. But yeah, that's who they want to be. Adam Kinzinger don't have anybody in his family who even likes him, so I don't know.
I mean, I
he
think
needs to just maybe
Kristen
get off
Sinema-
Twitter altogether.
Kristen Sinema needs to just, you know what, just cross that
He
red
might
line.
need to try to build new bridges somewhere, make new
Cross
friends.
that red line, Kristen. The Republicans will take you, and then they'll eat you alive.
They sure will.
They will.
All right. Last subject of the today.
And Lindsey Graham sitting around looking like he's from a Tennessee Williams novel.
How the respect for the Marriage Act in the U.S. protects same-sex marriage rights and where it falls short. So, Aisha, lead on this one.
Well, it passed in the Senate. First of all, it passed in the House, passed the Senate, got the final approval in the House, on its way to Joe Biden's desk. It should be worth noting. First of all, it protects same-sex marriage, but it also protects interracial marriage. And Mitch McConnell voted against it.
Dumbass. He's so dumb.
Okay, so first of all, he let Trump say racist stuff about his wife. Then he doesn't want to protect his own marriage. That's not a marriage. That's a fetish at this point. Okay?
Yes.
That's all it is.
This one with the money, she's the only reason to keep him in office.
I don't understand it. It's like, how are you going to be against same-sex marriage when you are in an interracial marriage? Now, the other thing that was interesting was when they did the last House vote the other day, that woman that was crying about, please don't let this, because I believe in God, we have separation of church and state.
They don't want to see that
that's
anymore.
One reason why it could happen.
No,
but two,
they're not going to want to see it anymore.
But here's the other part. You're crying. Guess what? Don't get married to a woman. It's that easy. Or mind your business.
They don't
want not allowed. But that's 99% of the world's problem right now. You're worried about who you're screwing, who you're living with. You're worried about everybody else's business except your own, even though you're the one with the skeletons in the closet. There is a problem. This is 99% of everything we talk about every week is this bullshit.
Yeah,
get out of people's bedrooms.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I don't get. These are people who truly have nothing going on in their own marriages, their own relationships, their own bedrooms, because they're so consumed everybody else's.
Oh, I think they have
ridiculous.
A lot going on. I think they just want to distract it so much that they don't want us to pay attention to what they're doing because they doth protest too much.
Well,
I've often found people who usually do
have the things in the closet.
I agree. I've often know that's usually
really.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
Aisha's okay. I'm just gonna let Aisha come back fully with it. But Black Beauty saying, right, Lala, he's married to an Asian woman of color, and he voted against it.
But she don't see herself as Asian. Asian people of her stature think they're white. They think they're above everything else. She don't think she's Asian, honey. She thinks she's white.
It's true, because that's the interesting thing about that community in a really weird way, and a lot of immigrant communities. When they reach a level of money, they are looking at it completely as class, because you have to remember in their culture, there were always levels of like, this is a group of people that wouldn't even go out in the sun because it would be as if you were a field person. And these are the cultures that sell bleaching creams. So you already should know from the get what you're dealing with. And it's called classism. Yes. And they believe that if they make enough money, they have bought their way into that class. It's been going on since the days of I don't know. I think partly some of the beef between the Chinese and Japan was really, a lot of it had to do with who was outside and who wasn't. I mean, it's really kind of crazy to think that.
It's a different version of the paper bag test.
It is. sad to say. So I think that the reason that they don't consider, I told someone a story the other day that in Michigan had a funny law, a court case years ago, maybe 10 years ago. There was an Arab guy from Iraq or something, and he was upset that he couldn't collect welfare or get some kind of help because he felt he was being discriminated against. And, everyone was kind of listening to this case, and the case sort of implied that because he was being forced to check the box that he was Caucasian, that he was not getting the money should he have been able to click the box that said he was a person of color. It was a case. It actually happened.
Yep.
Because all Arab people who come here are not listed. If you look at we have so many categories, but the way they structure them, the Pan-Asian, the Pan-American, the Tahitian, like Polynesian part, on really long census stuff, you'd be very hard pressed not to find out who the hell you could be. I'm like,
That's right.
I'm this one and that one, but they break it all down, which is kind of scary that they break it that down when they say non-Hispanic. So once you check your non-Hispanic, that puts it into, you immediately go to this side. And then, so these are really sick fucking minds that sit up here and devise this.
Yeah,
they really are. And yes, I know they say that we do this because we try to get more for the regions and voting and all of that stuff. But I don't really buy it completely. I think it's being abused.
No, because that's not why the census was started. The census was started to keep track of between Black people and Native Americans who were here versus white people.
That's
so right. On their
exactly. So that's how I was.
Black Beauty says, I'm confused. Regina says, I 100% agree with you, Ella and Jill. Class loyalty before community loyalty with many rich people. And Black Beauty says, OMG, I'm glad I live in a small time here. Woo, sad, LOL. I don't know if it's any better in a small town.
I know. There's still pecking orders.
There's still pecking orders.
Always
I
a pecking
came
order.
from a small town. Let me tell you right now, that small town is divided by a highway called US 42. The white people live on one side, the Black folk live on the other. And when the white folk wanted the Black people's land, then it became an issue where now we can cross over. But when I came up, I was told, don't let little Johnny look at you because you the Black girl in the neighborhood. I don't care what you look like, but you can't mingle with that.
Exactly.
That's still going on today, and whenever they want something, they change the rules. Period.
Yeah.
There is a book written by a gentleman named Claude Anderson named Black Labor, White Wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's so like there's if you look at Netflix this weekend with Harry and Meghan, what's really been so blowing people's minds is that it's actually revealed just how much the media was getting their information from Kensington Palace, from the actual William and his wife's people. It is crazy, but it's like you have to do documentaries these days in order to prove your story, that people are out to kill you and get rid of you. It's treacherous out here. And there is a pecking order. That royal family lost their minds they pretended like it's all right, but behind the scenes in this documentary you can see, whoa, they're going to great lengths to kind of murder these people, like get rid of her and these kids.
But then
it's scary. I just can't believe it. I donate money a month just to make sure that they had security. I'm not even joking, because I actually was like blown away, like going, wow. Like what fucking animals are the royal families? That's why that bitch's fingers look like bratwurst. He ain't right.
Well, you know, they all marry within. That's why they try to see whose cousins is so far away who can they can get in there. But not only that, they are touching on the fact, and let's face it, this is the truth of the matter. Megan is going to have all these problems because why? The Black community don't like to accept her, and the white community don't want to accept her. I'm telling you, that's some shit because I lived it, and I still live it, and it is no joke. And people still think that this is some kind of game, and some people think it's fascinating, but it's not fascinating when your ass is living in it.
Exactly.
All right.
I got to say this too, that let's be very clear. The white women that fell for all this stuff from Kensington Palace, they're upset because it's their little fairy tale of marrying a prince that they felt entitled to. And so they see her, it's like, oh, that's not supposed to be hers.
Right.
Who she is, it's supposed to be mine. Because they were happy to see someone that looked like them marry William.
Right.
You know, I want to say one interesting thing too. I don't know if any women have experienced. Sometimes other women will come for your man because of how they feel about you.
Exactly.
How they think it's all about you. It's that's why everything has to really be looked at. That's where we are. There are women out there who will come for your life because it's called jealousy. Yeah. And we saw how Barack Obama's pictures weren't even hung in the White House when Donald Trump was there. That's another form of malicious jealousy, and how they treated Michelle Obama. For me, it's unforgivable. If I ever met anybody who said if they ever said anything, and I don't know if I could actually contain myself around somebody who called her the names they called her. Y'all might have to come and get me out of jail, because I would love to be like, what? That was wrong. This woman had children. This woman has. So I have no problem. So I have no problem going after him now. When I say that Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like a cyclops or whoever, I'm going to say it, because y'all did us no favors. You ripped apart like people that were our role models from our community. And so,
and I don't know about you, but I don't necessarily need to know what my first lady's boobs and butt and twat look like. I ain't never had to worry about Michelle Obama and her class.
Exactly.
Gonna call her out like
but remember how all the white women at first were really harsh on Michelle Obama because they had crushes on Barack?
And once again, what? Oh, but he's not the first Black president because he's mixed. I still have an option. I can still go after him. He's not all the way Black.
He's Black enough to have walked into somewhere downtown, and they don't ask you in some of these towns, like, you know, with your complexion or whatever. They just know you're different, and they don't sit and say, are you half white or are you half whatever? No, they know. So I've even been seeing Black people constantly going into this whole, about actually standing behind the one drop rule.
Yes.
So one dude was like going off about Meghan and Harry, but he made a comment like, well, see, Harry didn't say nothing about, his wife he said his children were mixed. He didn't call her Black. It's like, let me tell you something. He is a white man. And granted, we're going to go into his vernacular. So what? You're going to hold him to the decree of what white supremacists did here in America that said any bit of Black makes you completely Black.
Right.
Oh, so we even have white people here who parrot white supremacist ideology and verbiage. There they are, parroting it like fucking idiots. It's a part of in our community, that crabs in a barrel thing that I don't understand. But it's the very same thing that exists, and why we still have Black on Black crime in it, because those motherfuckers don't want to address that either.
Nope.
And they'll be on any side of the fence any week of the day. They lack such self-awareness that nothing gets done in the community. Nothing.
But see, I often find that those men that say that stuff, also the flip side of it, they hate Black women.
Right. They're dating. Yeah, exactly.
That's the flip side of it. Like they'll say that, and then they hate Black women.
I just never knew we would still be at this point in this day and age in 2022. I always thought that the more everybody sort of commingled and, you know, whatever. And the why it doesn't work in a way is because it's sort of like commingling money. It's like, that quarter is mine. That $500. It's just like, this is what we're
All
going to
right.
do.
Let's call it a wrap. I will end off by saying, this is what I say a lot these days. The more I know, the less I understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's leave with that. Some comments here. Black Beauty says, I'm on Social Security and it popped up and popped out again. Come back. I'm on Social Security and live in 55 and older housing. Very, very sheltered, y'all. I rely, don't get out much. All right. Well, this is where you get your information. Jen says the documentary is very well done. I'm watching it also.
Yeah.
And Jen says, yes, Aisha. And Jen says, great conversation. Told you it would be. Told you right the opposite. They don't do bad conversations here for some strange reason. They call it State of Things with Aisha, Jill, and Lala. And as always, want to thank the ladies for another lowbrow conversation with no energy. You know, they just slept through it, you know? So as always, before we let the ladies call it a day, they have to say, well, if they're up to it, because you never know, they may not want to get out their contact information. But I think they do because they're so prolific on social media. Let's go to Lala.
You can find me on all social media platforms under Realty Goddess.
Wonderful. Next up, Jill.
Jill D. Jones, Twitter, Jill Jones Music, Instagram.
Fantastic. And the lady with the swag glasses.
Aisha Staggers on Twitter.
All right, fantastic. And if you want to get a hold of me, if you get through all of them, then you got to deal with me. Dr. Vibe had the Dr. Vibe Show. That's the DRVIBESHOW show.com. Email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. YouTube and Facebook, The Dr. Vibe Show. Twitter at drvibeshow. And then Instagram at The Dr. Vibe Show. Few last things. Remember, we have to say big shout out and thank you to our sponsor, Ebony Occasions. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show, and also Instagram at Ebony Occasions. So I want people to order your cards so you can get them in time. At least go to the website. But you know what? I want to know next week. Someone tell me if they've ordered the cards, or email me or DM me on Instagram. Would love to know who put the first order in for cards. All right? I would love to know that. So some other things. You can watch replays of this epic conversation. You know what? I have the wrong thing up for replays. So I put it up and I got to find the right one. So just give me a moment, folks. I put the wrong thing up and I can't find it. Oh my goodness. There we go. You can watch replays of State of Things with Aisha, Jill, and Lala at the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and the Dr. Vibe Show website. I was so excited. I can't even keep things going on these days. Also, if you want to like Ebony Occasions, would you like to promote your business or service on our show? Please contact me email-wise at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And finally, please take the time to vote for me in the Best Black Canadian Podcaster category at this year's BuyBlacks.com People's Choice Awards. Go to buyblacks.com/PCA/vote to vote. You can vote every 24 hours from now till the end of the month. And finally, who sung that song? Finally, I can't remember who sung that song. Who, Aisha?
CC Pendleton.
CC Pedersen. Thank you. Got it. CC Pedersen. So follow Dr. Vibe Show or subscribe on YouTube. And if you do also on YouTube, also put notification. Hit the notification bell so you get notified for upcoming conversations, and like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook. So as we end off, I think we got one or two more quick comments here. Black Beauty says, very informative. Thank you. And Share Night. Great show as always. Have a good night, everyone. All right. So we're getting off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. And we'll see you next week. And we gotta plan some sort of event where we get a little party going on, in-house party with y'all. So we're gonna talk about that. We also see if we can fit in a music show at the end of the year. We got to find out how much we're gonna be on from now to the end of the year, because Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are on a Saturday. Would you want to hang out with us on Christmas and New Year's Eve? Are you ready for that? We'll talk about it next week. Be well, keep the faith. God bless.